But you never know that you could. And when you feel that way, ain't it good, good dancing in the red and gold. Dancing in the red and gold.
Good evening. This is the 49er Faithful UK Live, and this is our little bit makeshift week 6 preview. We're 4-1. We're top of the West, and we're heading to Tampa to face the also 4-1 Bucs for top of the NFC showdown. And some of us are heading to London for the watch party. I am Gareth Ellis, and I'm joined by Lee Gowland.
Now then, mate, are you looking forward to the watch party?
I am. Let's start there. I think that's it. Very much. It's come round. It's come round quick. I know. We hope to get a bit more notice, but that's the way it is. And obviously, the NFL flexing the game, bit of a spanner in the works for the 49ers team. But we're heading to London. We're going to be there. I'm going to see you.
We are.
If that doesn't put you off.
So I think at the moment we're looking at somewhere in the region of 350 tickets registered.
Wow,
so
that is going to be
quite a few then. And to be honest, I mean, those figures were given to me on Monday. So it could be considerably more people because obviously the 49ers didn't start to advertise this until Monday. So that 350 is basically off the promotional work that we've done within the group. So that's pretty good, to be honest.
I think there's always a chance as well. Perhaps people who are in town, perhaps for the Jets-Broncos game, might see how that is, see how they feel at the end of it, and if they still fancy coming in for another game, they may well book late, I guess. Are the tickets, is that registration going to close, do you think, on the Sunday? Do we need to be aware
I think
of
they'll
that?
stay open. I think as long as there's tickets available, they'll stay open. Yeah,
great news. Because I know some people will think, well, I'll see how I feel Sunday, but it is free, so register. I think if you've got a good chance of coming down.
Yeah, general admission tickets are free. We're going to be joined by Marquis Goodwin. There's going to be some giveaways. At the end of each quarter, there'll be a raffle. I think there's also 2 additional raffles. So I think 6 raffles in total potentially.
Wow. 6 raffler.
I don't know what we're raffling. If it's the same stuff as normal, then I'm sure it's always autographed stuff, balls. Stuff like that, helmets.
I'm hoping for one of those nice new Rivalries black shirts. I got to say, that would be my choice. Not that I've got a great track record.
I would be very surprised if they raffle off a jersey.
Really?
Have they done that before? Oh, actually, yes, they did. The very first one. Jay Peplow got a George Kittle jersey.
Didn't someone get a Warner jersey as well?
What?
Have I ever seen that?
Someone win a Warner jersey. A Warner ball. A Warner.
Maybe.
Yeah. Paul Hope, he got a Brandon Ayuk jersey at the Eagles playoff game, the NFC Championship game. So yeah, they definitely do jerseys. So you never know.
Never know. There we go. Yeah, don't register. Cut down on the numbers. Increase my chances.
Well, obviously, as soon as you walk through the door, you get given a ticket. So anybody that turns up on the day, you get the opportunity to win something, a free prize. Yeah.
Great stuff. Any other news? We've got Marquis Goodwin is going to be there watching the game with you guys in the VIP area. That's for sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting because when we spoke to the 49ers on Monday and we were talking about Marquis, so he's going to fly into London. I think he gets in early evening on the Saturday night. And apparently he's a bit of a party animal. Yeah. Now, I'd heard something completely opposite, to be honest. But no, apparently the 49ers, every time the 49ers have had Marquis Goodwin at an event, that they've had to try and control him a little bit.
Oh, really?
He gets excited. So yeah, this could be interesting. This is going to be interesting. This could be very interesting, especially once the fireball shots start coming round.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that should be fired up. Yeah, there we go. Should we talk about the game? Let's do that. I'm thinking
Go
we'll
on
come
then.
back to the watch party, but let's get a little bit onto the game. You didn't join us for the Rams review, did you, Lee? Just
Didn't, no.
I thought you'd want to. I know we're milking that Thursday night win for a full week now.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Did you get to watch it?
Yeah, I stayed up all night and watched it.
Oh,
It was ironic that we went
look up
to
the cracker.
overtime. Well, I had the Friday off work purposely so I could watch it and so I didn't go into work tired. I enjoyed it, yes, because I wasn't going to work. I was able to enjoy it with a couple of whiskies. Well, when I say a couple of whiskies, a few. Maybe it's a little bit more than a few. But I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was an entertaining game, especially for the neutral. It was ironic that we went to overtime with it being a red-eye shift because, I mean, going to bed 4:30 in the morning is bad enough. But when you're still up watching it at just gone past 5 o'clock, it
And you must have been
makes for
buzzing.
a long, long night. I
Yeah.
was, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
took
it's
us a
so
while to
difficult.
come
You
down.
can't just drop straight off, can you? After that,
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all.
Mm.
And I think that performance, because we were missing so many players, I think that's given everybody hope because we'd kind of stumbled our way through to like a 3-0 record before. The Jags slapped us about a little bit, and even then we were in that game, but we'd never looked convincing. I'm not saying we looked convincing against the Rams, but as you know, there was a whole lot of us went against the Niners winning that game. We all thought it was going to be the Rams, and we turned up and we were counted. And I think that bodes well for the rest of the season, especially once we start getting our elite players back.
It does. Segued seamlessly into the injury report. Now, while you can't see it, I have a secondary screen, a little screen up next to us, and the injury report will barely fit on the screen in one go. This is the did not practice this week. Robert Beale Jr., Alfred Collins, Yatir Gross-Matos, Juwan Jennings, Christian McCaffrey, though he's rested. Who's next? Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy, Jordan Watkins, and Trent Williams, though he is also rested. We have another list of people on limited practice as well. Kalia Davis, Kevin Givens, but that is good to see because he is coming back. Mac Jones limited, Upton Stout limited, and CJ West limited. That's
It's worrying. It's worrying.
We are running out, aren't we? I mean, this is a good chance to
are.
test depth, but come on.
Well, yeah, it does. It is. It's definitely a good chance to test death. But we're only into week 6 of the season, and we've got another 8 weeks to go before we have our bye week. This is going to be a long 8 weeks. Yes, we are getting pivotal pieces back. George Kittle potentially might be back this week, but more likely the week after against the Falcons. Hopefully we'll have Juwan Jennings, Demarcus Robinson back this weekend. So that kind of bolsters the wide receiver room.
Malik Mustafa.
Yes,
he's
that's
huge.
huge.
Window is open, so he doesn't appear on the injury report, but I don't think we're obliged to list him at this stage.
All right, that'll be interesting then.
But he doesn't appear on the
I
report anyway.
So having him back is going to be huge for the run game, defense of the run game. That is.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to him coming back, and yeah, I think as we get stronger as the season goes on, as long as we don't lose any more pivotal pieces, then we could be looking good. We always knew it heading into the season. We had the easiest schedule. So
on paper, you've got to play them.
On paper, you're right. You do have to play them
Because look at a team like the Jags. That was the sort of team that
exactly. Hats off to the
makes
Jags.
our schedule.
They played well.
And obviously putting one over the Chiefs as well. It makes it look weaker. All those people who thought, we're facing the Colts, which we've got later, just about before Christmas, I think. And obviously the Colts are not looking like a weak team. So yeah. So remember that the strength of schedule is somewhat of an illusion.
Yeah, because it's 12 months old, effectively.
It is.
Or
it is
1 season old, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
We've I've also got the Bucs injury report. A few big names on this did not practice: Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Bucky Irvin. I think Godwin and Evans have been out for most of the games, and of course the Bucs haven't really been missing a beat. Also, not practicing cornerback Zion McCollum and cornerback Benjamin Morrison, looking a bit beaten up in the secondary. Maybe that will figure into some predictions.
Yeah, possibly, because I mean, I made a note of that as well. Yeah, so we've both beaten up. We both definitely beaten up. But I don't think anybody can argue that we've lost the more pivotal pieces than what anybody other team has in the NFL.
And of course, that's not including Nick Bosa on that list, who is obviously done for the season. And I'm sure Mr. Mayfield is very happy about that. So,
yeah, definitely. And to be honest, when you look at the Bucs, the one person they're missing, which I was really worried about because he always has a good game against us, was Mike Evans, and the fact that he's doubtful rather than questionable, which means it's likely he won't play, then that gives us hope as well. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a close game because I think we quite well matched as far as definitely as far as record's concerned, but as far as our performances, because I think we've been quite inconsistent.
We have, and I think we've ridden our luck at a little bit of times, but I think we've earned that. We've had some bad luck over the last few years, so I'm happy to see those goal line forced fumbles, actually end up in our own hands rather than in the opposition's. It's about time we got a few of those bouncing our way.
I think it's about time we got a few interceptions and rushing touchdowns.
Well, yeah, there's a couple of things that are missing. Just to complete the Bucs injury report, some limited participation in practice from linebacker Levante David, another cornerback Jamal Dean, and tackle Tristan Wirfs, one of the best tackles in the league. So, some uncertainty there. Let's hope those guys need another week before they get back. Don't even mention it.
There is no curse.
Don't even mention it.
There is no curse.
There is no curse.
There's maybe's no curse. There's a possible curse, but let's not talk about it.
Well, the Bucs have been. There was a 49er Faithful UK watch party with the Bucs. Was that 2018 or so? I didn't attend it. It's when I first joined the group, and I think there was perhaps about 8 or 10 of you. Yeah, somewhere. That was a Bucs game.
A dozen of us. It was in Manchester. It was in Manchester at oh God, what do you call it? The Brotherhood. And we had our own little area up above the bar. And it was one of these bars that allowed us to stream Game Pass. So we watched the full game. David Neve came up with his son, who's a Bucs fan, and the Bucs beat us that day. I think it was an awful game. It was something ridiculous, like 38-6. We were absolutely garbage.
Was it Shani's first or second season when we were struggling?
Second.
Yeah, but with Jimmy had gone down, hadn't he, in the early in the season?
That's right.
So
that's right.
It was you either had Mullins or Bethard.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave Betteridge. That's much appreciated, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. And of course, the Bucs, the gold mine, 2023 November. So the Bucs and the Niners got a bit of history with the 49er Faithful UK.
Yeah, they do.
And we obviously won that game over in Santa Clara.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. If you want to call that a meet-up or a watch party, then have had a regular season win. But then again, I mean, we've had quite a few regular season wins when it's been 49er Faithful UK meetups. It's when it comes down to being the official 49ers meetup where we've only ever won in the post-season.
Yeah. But there we go. We are records are there to be broken, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And they're going to be broken this Sunday.
Do you have a graphic? Can we have a look at the Bucs team?
I don't have a graphic.
Well, I know we've been winging it this week. We do apologise for this service. It's been a busy few weeks for everyone.
And I will get you a graphic.
We need a little bit of a musical interlude. A little
Me
bit of
too.
elevator music while we could do this.
And while I'm doing this, I'll just explain to everybody why we so unorganised this week. So both Paul and I have been absolutely rammed with work. Work's been getting in the way. I didn't even think I was going to make it tonight, so I'm quite glad I have made it tonight. But yeah, this is why we're so unorganised. Nadgy was supposed to join us, but unfortunately, literally 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, he had to text us to say, sorry, his new son isn't settling very well, so he had to go and do his fatherly duties.
Fully expected. Yeah, it's been a busy work time for both you and Paul. And Paul obviously is sharing a house at the moment, so tricky to get online. Hopefully, we will be back to our usual slick, high performing unit at some point, 10, 20 years, maybe something like that.
Right, so this is the Bucs offense.
Take us through it. It's not Baker is turning genuinely into possibly even a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Oof, top 5.
Yeah.
He's
this
definitely
season,
improved from his
who's
early-
playing better? You stumped.
Yeah, I am stumped, mate. I mean, I don't want to say is he a top 5? He might be
I
a
think
top 5 player this season. Yeah,
this season.
Yeah, he might be a top 5 player this season. I think it helps with Egbuka over on the outside there, because he's having a great season as a rookie. He's got Godwin opposite him, who's obviously come back off quite a bad injury last year. But you look at their offensive line, and they've got an absolutely cracking left tackle in Wirfs. Barton in the centre, I think that ranking from PFF doesn't do him justice at all. I think he's a lot better than that. I'd definitely have him over Jake Brendel, and that's saying something saying so. Jake Brendel's still ranked 4th best centre in the NFL, and I think when you watch it on film, you can see there's no way he is the 4th best centre.
PFF grading has some shortcomings, I think.
Yeah.
It might over
a
a season, perhaps. I don't know how it works out, but yes, sometimes I think the grading there can, 1 or 2 plays can, I think, give you a lot more or less points than your true value. So
yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah.
That was good.
No worse than normal there then. I missed that one. I can't remember what that one was for. But yeah, I mean,
I think
White.
our slick, organised performance.
Yeah. Rashard White. So I'm gonna be honest. I've got him in 2 of my fantasy teams, and I'm definitely playing him this weekend. I know we've got a really good defense. We are limiting the points, but I've just got a feeling
People get yards.
he's going to run on us. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I've got a feeling he's going to run on us. Because I think they're going to rely a lot more on the run than what they normally do. Like I said, I mean, Godwin's coming back off quite a bad injury. And the young lad, maybe there's not as much confidence there. So I think they'll build from the run and go that way.
Tight end? It's Otton,
Tight
isn't
end,
it?
Orton.
I think
Tell you what,
he's...
your eyesight's better. I'm going to have a look at the bigger screen. Yeah, Orton.
Yeah, no, it's about the size of a postage stamp for me. I think he's been quietly very productive for them.
Right. So this is, like you said, I mean, this is where PFF falls down a bit, because you look at those stats, and to me, that's all below average. I mean, 2024, he's getting to the point of being average, but he looks as though he's a below average tight end. But then again, I can't say I've ever noticed him during a game. So I don't know. You might be right. He might be having a quietly good.
Maybe I read it
season.
some point this week, or maybe I've just made it up to fill space.
Possibly you've made
So
it.
someone can let us know in the comments.
like I said about Graham Barton, when he came through last season, I was wanting us to take Graham Barton, and this is the PFF ranks he's got. But when you see him play, I think he looks a lot better than Brendel does.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at those ranks. So you're right about PFF. You just take it with a pinch of salt. I kind of use it purely to bring up the matchups so I can see who's going against who.
Yeah, it is useful for that. Any of those guys you can see having a particularly big game? You say they're going to run on us. Obviously, if Bucky Irvin is out,
Yeah.
have they got depth at running back? We'll find out. I don't know.
Yeah, we will find out. We will find out. I mean, Rashad White, he's a good running back. He's a very good running back. Whether or not they're going to run him all night long, I don't know. I mean, we used to do that Frank Gore, to be honest, 20 years ago. 15, 20 years ago, we just used to keep on running Frank Gore. He was an every down back. And Rashad White, in a way, he kind of reminds us of Frank Gore. I think he's strong enough to do it, be a 4 down back. I'd like to say, well, I wouldn't like to say. I was going to say I'd like to say that I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a good game. But I think Baker Mayfield always puts in the type of game against us that Jameis Winston used to. So I think he's got a couple of interceptions in him. And I think this is the week where we break our duck, interception-wise. Courtesy of Baker Mayfield.
You've leapt in with a bowlie ahead of time.
Is that a baldy, is it?
Well, us getting an interception. It is. I've got it down as our bold list. We get an interception. That is bold, since we haven't had one in 11 games now, which is shocking.
It is shocking. I mean, every week now, every game that we don't get one, we're just extending our own NFL record.
But we've been close several times. There's been a few times where it just hasn't quite fallen for somebody. So
well,
hopefully
to be
that's
fair,
changed. Particularly Fred Warner.
Yeah, we had a perfectly good interception 2 games ago.
We did, Upton Stouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was...
There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
No.
So the NFL have robbed us. They've given us an unwanted record.
Indeed. Goldmine reunion.
Oh, it's Bo. I wondered who that was. So, Bo, you
there
ordered
we
the
are.
last fireball. I always thought that was Eric Orgard that ordered the last fireball at the bar and then just wound me up by asking if I wanted to have a taste of his drink. Looking
There we
forward to
go.
seeing you, Bo. So,
good to see you.
Bo, if you haven't worked out, Bo is from Denmark and Bo's flying in, I think, Saturday. So we'll have to meet up, Bo, because there's quite a few of us going down on Saturday. Both myself and Gareth will be down there.
We will.
So drop us a message, let us know when you're getting in, and I'll let you know where we're going to be.
Great stuff.
And thank you very much for the super chat as well, mate.
Wow. Someone started the fireballs early.
Yeah, definitely. So Neil, I do trust Neil's opinion when it comes to different teams and different players. He thinks Otten is very underrated. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, there we go.
to see.
That's validated me. Thanks, Neil.
Yeah.
Shall we flip over? Let's see what the offense is going to be facing by way of the Bucs D. Oh, slick. They've had a strong defense for many years, haven't they? The Bucs, and quietly they're not one
They've
of those
got an
flashy
aging
types.
defense.
Well, there is that, and they are beaten up in the secondary. But who's going to cause some havoc on that front four?
Well, you can't look any way past Vita Vea. And after I said about Calais Campbell, I'm not going to get into his age or the age of the defensive line because that came back to bite us somewhat. But
Especially
Vita Vea.
You're talking about these guys, and you are literally old enough to be their dad, Lee. So
yeah, I mean, you've also got Hassan Reddick there as well. After his little spat in New York, he's now gone over to the Bucs. So they've got some pieces. They've definitely got some pieces on that defensive line there. I mean, Diaby as well. He was a good shout last year for one of the better players in the league. And I think they're going to cause us problems.
I thought he
Because
played for Man City years ago.
he might have. He might have. Yeah, I mean, the way you look at that, and again, I'm talking about PFF gradings here. Our offensive line doesn't look particularly bad, but we've all seen them play week in, week out, and we all left thinking, why are we never going to strengthen this offensive line?
I do think the pass protection has been pretty good this year. I think McKivitz hasn't been too bad. I think we're having difficulty getting out on the run game, but I do think the pass protection has been reasonably good. You know, Mac Jones isn't that mobile. He was sacked once against the Rams, and the Rams, a pass rush is pretty effective. So I haven't often had a lot of good to say about our O line, but I do think the pass protection is above average this year, and sometimes that's enough.
Yeah, possibly. Hopefully it will be, because at the moment we don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for us. Obviously,
it's gonna be Mac. I would have thought, with Purdy if Purdy's not practicing on this slightly longer week off.
So I wouldn't expect it to be Purdy, but obviously there's still a question mark over Mac Jones. He's going to have to prove me wrong.
Was it Martinez?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility.
Well, there we go. A star could be born. Who knows?
Mind you, I think everybody will be shocked if it isn't Mac Jones.
I would be shocked if it was Mac Jones, and I think he's tough. He's going to tough it out if he can.
Yeah, well, he did a good job against the Rams, toughing it out. And like I said, I mean, he proved us wrong that night, because I remember when he hobbled off crying his eyes out playing for the Patriots when somebody stood on his ankle. So he's obviously getting over that, and learned to control his feelings. He hasn't quite gone over the dark side.
Yeah, emotional regulation.
But yeah, I mean, there's huge pressure on Mac Jones coming up this Sunday. I mean, he's going to go out there and he has to deliver the first regular season watch party win. That's huge.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think the pressure was on, but once you put it like that, hopefully they've kept that secret from him. He hasn't seen the London watch party is on, so that they're not piling the extra pressure on the lad. Insightful summary there from Richard.
Yeah. And Neil recalling that perfect game for Purdy.
Yeah.
Still feels special being at that game to see that.
I can still feel that wind cutting over the stadium. That's my overriding memory of that game, really, is just the bitter wind.
Yeah. Legend has it that Sam Tranmere hasn't thawed out yet.
Well, are we going to see Sam on Saturday? Well, we can ask him then.
Possibly. So looking at those teams then, looking at our offense, their defense, who do you think on offense we need to have a big game to beat the Bucs?
On our offense?
Yeah.
Everybody. We're going to need that receiving target. I think Kendrick Bourne is going to need to be that guy again. It doesn't look like Purcell is necessarily going to be back. I'm not sure Jennings is going to be back. And to be honest, I don't necessarily think at 4-1 and 3-0 in the division, we shouldn't be forcing these players back at this stage of the season. You know, we don't want to talk about it for the watch party, but you know, we can swallow a loss at this point in the season. And we've seen we rushed Brock Purdy back too soon, and now he's possibly going to be missing more weeks than he would have been. So I think Kendrick Bourne is going to need to be up for a good game. I think Jake Tonjes is slowly coming into that a role where we're not missing Kittle so much in the passing game. I know that you can't replace Kittle, but at least we've got a tight end who's getting 40, 50, 60 yards a game. And he's, I think, got touchdowns in the last 2 games. So we've got that red zone target. I could see potentially a big game from him. I think with the Bucs beating up secondary, it's there for Kendrick Bourne to have another big game. And Baker Look, Baker Mac might well be pushing the ball downfield to his good pal Kenny. What about you, Lee? You asked the question
Yeah,
with an answer in mind.
yeah. I mean, I completely agree about Tonguez to such an extent that I've actually brought him into my fantasy teams and I'm starting him at the weekend.
No pressure, Jake.
Yeah, no pressure whatsoever. So yeah, I think he can do this because I think over the middle they're quite weak. Levante David, I was going to mention age. I won't. Levante David isn't as good as he used to be. That's what I'll say.
And he's on the injury report. So
and he's on the injury report. I think there's going to be plenty of space over the middle for Tonguez to make a difference here. And I think you're right about Bourne as well because of the beat up secondary. I think Bourne could have a good game. I actually think Jennings will be back. I think he'll play on Sunday night. I hope he does anyway. If he doesn't, it's either him or Demarcus Robinson. One of the two of them is going to be back and playing. I'm kind of hoping it's going to be Jennings rather than Robinson because I think
maybe
Jennings,
both.
I've got a lot more confidence. It could be both. It could be both. I mean, Bourne, Jennings and Robinson. That's three decent wide receivers that you can have some confidence in, especially that catch that Robinson had a few games ago there where he basically caught it at the high point. Everybody thought it was going to sail well over his head. I think that must have been the game against the Jags because pretty much all the balls were going high when Brock had his bad toe. So, yeah. Christian McCaffrey.
I was going to say neither of us mentioned CMC, and I think that's.
I think we're scarred by the fact that we haven't been able to get the running game going. We haven't had a rushing touchdown. However, even though I haven't mentioned him, I think we're going to do well on the ground. I think we're going to break out both our ducks.
Bold.
Yeah, I think we'll get a rushing touchdown. I think we'll get an interception. And I'll leave the rest of the boldies until later. But I think he's going to have a better game than what he's had so far. When I say a better game, a more productive game. Because he hasn't played badly. It's just that we haven't been productive in the run game.
He hasn't played badly
at
all.
Difference.
Wait, he is like having a slot receiver as well as a running back in the work that he does. But I think the way we are, surely the Bucs are going to have that at the top of the list. Take CMC out of the game and take your chances with whatever else we've got on the field. Maybe the Rams tried that as well and still couldn't stop him. He's still getting over 100 all-purpose yards each game, isn't he? So mostly on the receiving side. But I am pleased to see, even though we're not effective in the run game, we're sticking with it. We're grinding at it. And hopefully one of these days it's going to click and we are going to get some yards on the ground. I'm just not sure if it's this week. I think this week has got shootout written all through it.
Right. That's interesting because I've actually gone a different direction to you.
Have you?
I've gone a different direction. I've got McCaffrey being a pivotal player, but not necessarily in the way that we'd normally see him being a pivotal player. And I think one of my bullies will explain that later, because I am confident we will break that duck. I am confident we will put yards on them as well. How those yards come about, we'll talk about during the bullies.
Interesting Fred Warner point.
Yeah. Chris Stato Wood has come up with this one. 5 more tackles to become the 49ers franchise record owner tackles ahead of Mr. Willis.
Wow. I would have thought he would have needed a season or two more to get that, but I don't discount
it's his 8th season. It's his 8th season.
Already his 8th.
Yeah.
And he hasn't missed a lot of games, has he? He hasn't missed a lot of games. So
no.
Wow. He is a full-on legend already.
Definitely.
Boldy, I think he'll get that this game then. I think he'll get it in the first quarter.
Yeah.
How about that for Bold?
Yeah. I first quarter. Okay, fair enough. I think you'll get it in the first Tampa Bay drive.
First possession by the Bucs.
Yeah, first possession.
Well, there you go. I can't go any bolder than that, can I?
No, because he can't have he can't have 5 tackles in the first 4 snaps.
He will. He's going to get it as the Bucs run out onto the field.
So Dan's feeling confident.
Mm,
Dan's feeling very confident.
that is confident. I would love to see it.
I think we'd all love to see it. Because you do know what's going to happen. They're like buses. Once we get one, another one will come along, and another one will come along.
Well, we are drifting towards Boldies, so I think we just better go there. Some odds first. The Niners are 3-point underdogs. I think were we underdogs against the Rams as well?
We were, yeah.
We were. Oh well, good sign.
We were huge underdogs against the Rams.
Even though it was a home game. Wow.
No, it wasn't a home game.
Yes, it was.
No,
Levi South.
Oh, right,
come on, Lee. Come on, Lee. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. And the over under is 47.5. Sounds a bit low given the Bucs' last performance against our friends in Seattle. So, score predictions.
So
I know you're never
Nadgy?
far from the chart.
Did we get one?
We haven't. Do you want to follow that up? See if Nadgy is bouncing a little lad on his lap, and he might have chance. I think somewhere on here there's a very, very, very lengthy message from Paul with all his boldies.
Yeah, I mean, Paul's covered so many boldies. He's definitely getting one right. I think we should limit him to a maximum of 2 boldies a week, one on offense, one on defense.
Well, he's not sure what bold is, of course, Lee.
Well,
so,
that's it, you're right. He doesn't.
From Paul, we have got 49ers win this one in a shootout. His score prediction. Have you got the table there? You can't multitask.
I'm getting it there.
Go on then. Go on then.
Chance.
He has also gone for two rushing touchdowns, which is the bonus points on this week's game. Number of rushing touchdowns, which is fun given that last week's was number of interceptions. So I'm sure the wheel has got a sense of irony there. He's got one by Christian McCaffrey in a short goal line situation, and possibly one. You need to use definitely here, Paul. Possibly one from the QB in a designed run or sneak.
Was that 31-27 he went for?
It was, and he's gone for a 31-27 Niners win.
Remind me, what? It was rushing touchdowns.
Two rushing touchdowns.
Two rushing touchdowns. Okay.
That's enough. That's enough from him for the moment.
Yeah, so do you want to go next, Gareth? Seeing as though I am bottom. You
are. We'll see what Nadgy's got. I think this is going to be fun. I've got a Niners win. I still feel dirty from the Rams prediction, but there we go. I'm going to go for a 31-30 Niners win.
Wow. I don't think my heart can take that, not in a watch party. There's absolutely no... If we do that, I'm drinking a full bottle of Fireball.
Yeah, it'll be something
my
like
nerves won't take it.
We'll be 30-10 down coming into the fourth quarter or something, and 21 unanswered. How about that? Rushing TDs, I've also gone for 2, and also I think one of those is going to be a QB punching it in, which I think could be our first rushing TD of the season.
Right. Okay then.
We've got.
Okay then.
No, that'll do for that, won't it?
Yeah. So I'm going to go for the Bucs scoring 24.
Teasing.
I'm going to go for just a single rushing touchdown. And I'm going to go for a 49ers 27-24 victory.
Good boy.
Now, my rushing touchdown. Let's talk about this then. So I said, no, I've done that one. I can't go back and take a second one. But I think this rushing touchdown is actually going to be scored by Juice.
Nice.
I think he'll score the rushing touchdown. I think On the night, we'll have 150 plus rushing yards, team yards. Yeah.
Nice.
Whether those come from Robinson or CMC, to me, it doesn't really matter. I think potentially we're going to be using CMC a lot more as a decoy than anything else in the rushing game, just to try and get the rushing game going with either Robinson or on short yardage situations, Juice as a decoy. So I think we'll break our duck, 150 rushing yards and Juice to score the first rushing touchdown. And I think the first rushing touchdown is going to be on our first drive.
Good. Get it over and done with early.
Yeah.
I like the way you're thinking. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I like the way you're thinking.
Okay.
Especially with the Juice rushing touchdown. They're actually quite rare. I think he must. I don't know. I've never checked, but he's probably, certainly for the Niners, probably had more receiving touchdowns than rushing touchdowns, hasn't he? Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Maybe Stato can embarrass me with some sort of a fact check on that one. But there we go. I've got us getting an interception as well.
Right. Just the one?
Just the one. Demo. I think Demo's going to pick him off. And I've got Mac Jones, assuming he starts, of course. He's going to top 400 yards throwing. Passing.
Wow. Wow, that would be impressive. So I'm actually going to go for 2 interceptions, and it's going to be the same person that gets them both. And I'm going back to one that I've already done this season. It's going to be up and stout. Yeah, I think he's grown as the season's gone on. And like I said, he had a perfectly good interception ruled out by a dodgy officiating decision. I think, given the fact that I know Baker Mayfield he's got plenty of interceptions in him, I've got confidence in our defensive line. I think we're gonna be hurrying him all day long. I think the wide receivers he's got, yes, they are good, but I think it's going to play into our hands. And I think Up and Stout, and I think that he's probably going to try and pick on Up and Stout, but I think Up and Stout is going to end up getting two INTs. One of them he'll take back to the house for a touchdown.
Wow, I would love to see that. I think Fred Warner is probably due one. I think there's so many people on the back end of the defense that are due one. Fred Warner's due one. I think Marquise Siegel is definitely due one, and Upton Stout for sure.
Yeah, I don't think this is bold.
That's not bold though.
No,
Paul is raging right now. If he is watching this at boldness.
What I was going to say is, I think Mac Jones will throw for less than 250 yards.
Well, if the run game's going, then...
Well, that's it. That's one thing. I think we're going to use the run game. 1, because he's not fully fit. 2, I think it's just set up for us to run against the Bucs on Sunday night. And I think we need to use more than just CMC and Robinson, which is why I had Juice in there as well. I think we need to do something slightly different just to get it going. You'd hope that we could run behind Trent Williams, but I don't think Trent's been that great this year.
Yeah,
I think he is shown as his experience rather than age.
Vintage.
Yes, his vintage. That's it. That's a better word to say. And one more boldly, and this is bold. This is very, very bold. I think we'll have 5+ team sacks.
That's bold. We've struggled for those. I think we've been getting the pressure on, but we have struggled to actually get home.
We have, yeah. You're right. Not going to argue with that, which is why I believe it's very, very bold.
It is very bold.
But I just
take
think
note.
The more time Salah's had with the defensive line that we've got, and he's obviously not compensating. Sorry, he's game planning without Bosa now. I think they'll have settled into a rhythm of what he wants to do, how he wants to do it. The fact that Ronaldo Green's been back a couple of games now, is back to effectively full fitness. Lenore is starting to play up to the level that we expect him to. I think Upton Stout has come on quite a bit. You've got Mustafa coming back. And I don't know who's going to give way for Mustafa. Is it going to be J.R. Brown?
think.
You think it's going to be Pinnock?
Yeah, but I think Pinnock's been starting, hasn't he?
Right.
And Brown has been coming in as that kind of hybrid linebacker, extra safety type role.
So I think we've got enough in the defensive back room to create a lot of coverage sacks.
Which I think is the
Because
plan.
I think Godwin gets
Bryce
the separation that he used to.
Has been used well. I think Salah is showing how well he's using him situationally as a pass rusher. And but Baker can scramble, but I think he's very much eased into that pocket passer role and doesn't want to move that much. And I think that's good hunting for someone like Huff.
So I'm quite surprised he's only got 19 touchdowns for the 49ers.
14-5. There we go. I was not only was I right, I was quite right.
Overall numbers. He's only got 25 during his career. Wow.
I don't think he didn't play a lot for the Ravens, did he? He was there for sort of 4 years, and I think again he just situational blocker. And Shanahan said that is the guy I want.
Some news from Ninerland.
Is there some breaking news?
Now I read this. Yeah, I read this. So I don't think it's going to be one of the marquee defensive ends that everybody is really wishing we would pick
It's
up.
not going to be Hendrickson, I don't think.
No, I don't think it's going to be Hendrickson either. Bradley Chubb. Could be Bradley Chubb.
Well, I think this is the week. If the teams that are going to be selling are going to start to be selling in the next couple of weeks, aren't they?
Who's the guy from New York Giants?
I don't think the Giants will be trading anyone. They've gone all in on their defensive line as the one thing to give them a chance. I think they're still trying to build rather than rebuild. I could see the Jets being sellers. I can obviously see the Dolphins being sellers. Saints maybe.
Possibly.
There's a guy we will mention for Cameron from the Saints. Played against us.
You're not thinking of Cam Jordan, eh?
No, maybe. There we go.
Yeah.
The preparation, the slickness is coming through. But there was somebody. He's been pretty productive for the Saints, but isn't that kind of top name?
That's the guy, Thibodeau. Thibodeau from the
Giants.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah. I can't see the Giants wanting. I think that the Giants need to clear house in the coaching and front office. I think more than their defensive line. They need something to build off.
The Dolphins are the most obvious choice where we'd pick up someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Hendrickson. So let's go back to this this comment that Michael's made. So completely agree if we were thinking about taking a high-priced player over several years. But Hendrickson's in his contract year. He's going to be a free agent next year. If there's a chance that he could potentially go to the Super Bowl and then still hit the free agency next year, I would imagine he would be more than happy to renegotiate his contract so that we can take him on and it's not much of a cap hit just for like a half-season loan. I've seen plenty of players do that in the past. It all depends on whether or not we are an attractive proposition as far as getting to the Super Bowl is concerned.
It's also, I don't know that we're all in this year. I think that this year is blood the rookies, no pun intended, and manage that cap space with all the dead cap we've eaten. I can't see us. I can see us making some moves.
I respectfully disagree. I think there's a lot of pressure coming down from Jed York to make sure we do everything we possibly can to win it this year when the Super Bowl's at Levi Stadium.
True. Well, we'll see if he's going to put his hand in his pocket, which hasn't seemed to have been a barrier.
Yeah. So I mean that's going to be interesting because obviously you've got the politics behind there that nobody really takes into consideration. And like I said, to me, I'm looking at this, and if I was the owner of the 49ers, leading up to this year, I'd have been thinking we need to stack this roster so that once we get to Levi's, once the Super Bowl gets to Levi's, we need to be in that game. We need to be in that game. We need to be competitive, and we need to almost guarantee that we walk out there with Lombardi number 6.
Yeah, an alternative is the ownership is going to make a lot of money out of that game being there, regardless of whether the Niners are or not. So you can always look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, making money's one thing, but I think it's the whole prestige.
Yeah,
Winning
but
on your home turf.
I just don't think it's come at the right year. Given the way that we've eaten all that dead, this looked like a quick reset year to me.
It did,
and it was be competitive. It was kind of, we expect playoff football.
I think they've taken a calculated risk because they knew how weak the schedule looked on paper. And I think they've taken a calculated risk that the squad we've got, with the depth we've got, we can give ourselves a chance at doing it. Rather than stack it, I think we've given ourselves a chance. And to be honest, it may only take that one player to make the difference. That's all it might take. It could be a defensive end. It really should be a defensive end.
It's the glaring need, assuming obviously that we get Kittle back.
Yeah. So one thing I was going to mention, you mentioned earlier that it's still early on in the season and we could potentially lose this game. Would you want to lose a game to a team that's potentially going to be a seeding rival at the end of the season?
Ideally not, but I think that's a long way off talking about the seedings at the moment. With 3-0 in the division,
you also have to have that eye on the brass, mate.
True. We're 3-0 in the division, but it was, my point wasn't so much about losing the games; it was rushing players back for at this stage of the season when we are in the position we're in. If we were 2-3 or something like that, and needed to keep up pace to have any chance, then fine. But this is a road game as well. They're not in our division, even though they're in our conference. You take it as it is, and you sort that sort of stuff out at the back end of the season. I think about let's get there first before talking about seeding. I don't like to count my chickens before they're plucked.
So I agree with Richard to some extent.
Yeah, that's he summed up my point better than me.
Yeah, any other year, this isn't really a Super Bowl team. However, we're going into week 6. Over the first 5 weeks, has there been any single team you've looked at and thought there's absolutely no way we can beat that team? No,
and it's been only. I mean, fair enough. The Bills got knocked off by the Patriots, but obviously with Lamar out and the Ravens being 1-4, and the Chiefs being 2-3, are the Colts for real? People are saying that the Seahawks are looking good, but is that for real? I think is Darnold as good as the games that he's played when it comes to the back end of the season when he's under pressure? We have yet to see. I think Bucs, Eagles, ourselves, we are probably the top 3 teams, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. And yet, we don't have what would normally be classed as a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, and stranger things have happened. Some unfancied and some not undeserving, but some teams who haven't been the best teams in the regular season have gone on to win Super Bowls. So it's doable. As soon as you get to the playoffs, the one thing we know, Shanahan has got a very good playoff record.
Oh, he does.
Other than a couple of
Super Bowl.
other than a couple of games.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, all of that is the reasoning why I think we could go big towards the trade deadline, which is what, in another 3 weeks' time?
It is. It's usually end of October, isn't it? So
yeah. So it's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks whether or not Lynch does this a little bit earlier than what he would normally do it. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a big risk. Although, look at the games that we've got coming up. I mean, once we get past the Bucs, we've got the Falcons, we've got the Texans, we've got the Giants.
Hmm.
You'd
Well,
expect 3 wins from those games. Maybe it's before the start of the season. I wasn't expecting the win against the Texans. I thought they would give us a hard game, but the Texans have been garbage this year.
hmm.
So if we win tonight, there's potentially 4 games on the bounce we winning just before the trade deadline, and that puts us
It will.
that puts us
Yeah,
8-1.
I think this is
8-1.
going to be
Attractive.
a good measure this weekend. How some of these games go, I think, will determine if people are going to be sellers. So, for example, the Saints. No one wants a winless team. No one wants to go winless throughout the season. I think the Saints getting a win, particularly with a new coach, I think it does change the complexion. Winless, you are in a very rare group of teams who haven't won a single game. As soon as you've got one win, I think in some respect the pressure is off, and you start to think, well, actually, we could lose a player or two to build for the future. I can see the Saints being sellers in the next couple of weeks. I can definitely see Miami being sellers in the next couple of weeks. I can see McDaniel maybe having his feet up on Sunday afternoons in the next couple of weeks. It's a tough old business. No joy in that.
Yeah.
But I was surprised he lasted Black Monday at the end of last season. To be honest,
Yeah,
you see anyone else?
I was as well.
You see anyone else being
Do
a
I see
selling
anyone
team?
else?
Raiders, obviously, they're
Well, yeah,
looking
I was
pretty
thinking
poor.
Raiders.
But have they got anybody that anybody wants other than
Crosby.
Max Crosby? Yeah,
Yeah,
mate.
Max
Max
Crosby.
Crosby. How about that?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
No, I don't think the Raiders would trade him to us.
No.
Yeah, there's that kind of rivalry. So I don't think the Raiders would trade him to us.
Yeah, but that's kind
and
of old,
again-
We're not in a division, we're not in the same conference, and we're not even in the same
Yeah.
state anymore. Does that really matter anymore? It matters to the fans,
Possibly
but
not. Possibly
you know.
not. So Dave Betteridge is saying that Evans has been ruled out.
That's good news for us.
It is good news for us. If it's true, it's good news for us.
What are you saying about David?
Dave. I'm going to believe him. Anthony's
Schefter.
saying Bengals may be sellers. I mean, they've kind of
were a
thrown
bit of a
it
mess, aren't
all
they?
away by bringing in Flacco, haven't they?
They had to do something, didn't they? I mean, they're hoping to be at 500 maybe for Burrow coming back, but I can't see that. The Steelers are looking relatively decent, so. But the Ravens are looking poor. Maybe they're thinking actually the way the AFC is shaken out, there could be a wild card team in the AFC at 8 and 9. Might get you a
Possibly.
wild card spot. It might do the same in the NFC this year. So who knows? Shall we? We're coming up to the hour. Let's any final bits we got to say about the watch party? Both me and you are going to be in London early, so I think
Yeah,
if
so
people
there's at least
haven't
12 of us.
if people haven't ticked going or maybe on the event on the Facebook page, I think that's probably where people might be posting some meetup information, or if you happen to be there and you fancy a little bit of refreshment on a Saturday night, maybe you can post in there and see who is about and where they are.
Yeah. We can all obviously coordinate what we're going to be doing, where we're going to be going.
Can we?
We'll try anyway. I need to be at the Goldwood. I think it's early to mid-afternoon on the Saturday, just to go through some things with the team that's going to be running the event. But then after that, I think it's a case that we find somewhere where we can watch the college football. There's a place just off Covent Garden. They show the college football. It's quite a small bar. I think David Betteridge, me and him went in there back in 2023, I think it was. I think it might have been the Joe Staley. It was the Joe Staley watch party. So that was 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. It was a decent book, decent pint. I've asked the Goldwood if they'd show the college football, and they said they haven't in the past. But I'm going to ask again on Saturday while I'm there, because I think they thought it was a completely different package they would have to buy. I do know they've got DAZN, So I need to explain to them, if you've got the DAZN package, the college football's free. So you can start showing it from like 3, 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon onwards. So if you can do that on just at least one of your TVs, maybe stick it upstairs in the VIP, what's going to be the VIP section, and then we can all go up there, sit and watch the college football together.
That does sound good.
Yeah. Other than that, just reiterate what Paul said on the show the other night. So as far as setting expectations with autographs and stuff like that, the expectation is there's only those in the VIP area that'll get who are guaranteed an autograph. Okay, just because they're the only ones that guaranteed doesn't mean he wouldn't be open to do it. But what we've been told is the reason they're doing the whole guaranteed photo is to try and mitigate the challenges they've had in the past, where the alumni have done nothing but spent all night signing autographs. And then obviously that's come from the 49ers, and I am assuming that feedback came from the alumni themselves, because it certainly wasn't on any of the lessons learned that I looked at. Other than, I mean, people did say it in more of a positive way than a negative, and say by saying Joe Steely was great, he spent all night signing everybody's autographs. So they could have read that and thought, well, actually, that's not what we want. So just set those expectations that you may not get an autograph or a photo opportunity with Marquise.
You know, it does come down to the individual alumni, doesn't it? And you know, Joe is a larger than life character. Not everybody has the same thing. And of course, it's a watch party with an alumni. It's not a meet and greet, get something signed event.
That's right.
Which obviously alumni, turn up at those kind of events where having your photo taken, having something signed is part of it. This isn't that event, is it? But we will see. We will see how many fireballs you get in Mr. Goodwin. So,
well, I was going to say that's going to be the interesting thing. If he's a party animal, who knows? He might spend most of his time downstairs on the main floor watching the game with people. And it all depends on how everybody
illegibly signing things.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting.
That'll be good. Couple of other little bits for that. Bring some flags. If you do have a flag, bring one of those. And we are going to be wearing our home reds. I think we did this against the Cardinals, didn't we? We said we'll have those nice, cool white uniforms in the heat. I think the Bucs have returned the favour, so we will be in Niners. Well. Yeah, we will be in Niners red in the heat. So if you do have your Niners shirt, bring a red one. Of course, if you don't have a Niners shirt, if you've got something red, that'll do. It's close enough. What else?
And we look forward to seeing you all on Saturday and Sunday. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously the doors open at 25 past 9. No, 25 past 7. Yeah. What the event's going to do is basically ask people who don't have a ticket to leave at 7 o'clock. Don't know how they're going to police that. I mean, technically, what they should do to make it to make sure that there's only people in there with tickets is get everybody out, regardless of whether or not you got VIP ticket or you've been in all afternoon. I think it all depends on the weather. And the weather looks as though it's going to be fine, you know.
I assume they did, because my sort of view of the setup last year was probably they'd removed some of the tables that would otherwise have been there. I seem to remember sort of quite a lot of open space. Don't know whether that's true, but that's to get more people in, and obviously for standing for the watch party. I think they had cleared the venue of the afternoon layout. Still plenty of places to sit, but I think they opened the space up a little bit.
So Sunday in London, from 7 o'clock onwards, it's going to be completely clear, 14, 15 degrees, so mild. So there's no reason why they can't say to everybody, look, let's get everybody outside, because it does two things. One, it clears the event, lets them do a little bit of a reconfiguration, ensures that nobody who doesn't have a ticket gets into the event. It also gives the 49ers the chance to get all their media shots, which obviously they want to do, because one of the things about having the watch parties is to try and get these media shots, so then they can go and promote it elsewhere within the UK to try and grow the fan base. So I think accepting that and appreciating the fact that they want to do that is probably a good idea for us all to go outside and scream like absolute lunatics.
A little bit of fresh air.
Yeah.
Do us all good standing up.
Yeah.
And there will be Sky Sport's going to be there, Talk Sport. Other people will be there usually.
Talk Sport are definitely there. I think Sky Sports were going to be there until we were flexed. And then I'm not so sure now. I do know there will be a space for them up in the VIP area. So if they do come, they come. But obviously they're going to have the London game on the afternoon. I think that might make it better, the fact that we have been flexed, because it gives them a chance to get from the Tottenham Stadium all the way into the Goldwood.
It could be a camera, a guy with a camera.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. One person.
But good to see some footage. Fantastic. I think we should wrap this up.
I think we should as well.
I think we've
I need to go and pack for the weekend.
Of course. And do your hair. Ready for all of those photos from Wayne. Wayne, been looking forward to seeing Wayne. So we will have professional photography done by Wayne, and he usually shares those photos and makes them available. So a huge thanks to Wayne for that, because they are always cracking photos. So.
And if you're not a member of the group because you don't like Facebook, Wayne always uploads all the photos to our OnlyFans account. Make sure you check it out. Those are the after dark photos.
We are definitely wrapping this up. Good to see you, Lee. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and look forward to seeing everybody else on Sunday. I will apologise now. I will instantly forget all your names when you introduce yourself. That is just me. It's not on you. Disappointed that Paul and Nadgy will not be able to join us, but they will be there in spirit, and they will probably be there on Discord. Might be a little bit quieter, but if you can't get down to the game, the watch party, get onto the Discord, and that's the distant second best thing you could be doing on Sunday night. Great stuff. Thanks for joining us. Go Niners.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
We love the San Francisco 49ers deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, deep card. Garrison Hurst, stiff farm going 99. Don't get it twisted, one and all with prime time. John Taylor, Jerry Rice down the